Have you ever seen a plant that looks exactly like an animal's tail? Or a tree that hangs in midair, its roots nowhere near the ground? Ever seen a tree burst into flame when a matchstick comes close? Somewhere on Earth, there's a tree that releases water like a living waterfall, and another whose fruit hits the ground and blasts like a bomb. A tree with a trunk that looks like it's made of animal fur, but it's alive and crawling, and a plant that gives you shampoo straight from its flower, and a tree that whistles with the wind. Some trees laugh when you touch them. Others bloom with flowers shaped exactly like tiny birds. These aren't myths or special effects. They're real. And today, we're diving into the strangest plants on Earth that look like they've come from another world. Let's dive in! Monkey tail. High in the rocky cliffs of Bolivia grows a cactus that looks more like an animal's tail than a plant. The monkey tail cactus produces thick trailing stems up to 8 feet long, wrapped in soft white hairs that shield it from harsh sunlight and freezing nights. In summer, it bursts into vivid red blooms, attracting hummingbirds in the wild. Plant collectors pay high prices for mature specimens, and it's become a favorite in botanical exhibitions for its surreal, almost creature-like appearance. Related to the golden rat tail cactus, its fur is denser and softer, giving it a lifelike movement in the wind. Images of massive hanging baskets filled with these tails often go viral in plant enthusiast groups, making it one of the most talked about cacti in the rare plant trade. Tree in the air. Recently, a tree swinging in the air went viral, known as the tree in the air. This tree is located inside an old temple in Jhansi City, Haryana, India. It has completely detached from its roots, yet the surprising thing is that it remains lush and green, growing like a healthy tree. Seen from the front, it appears as if the tree is hanging in the air. Local people worship this miracle tree, believing that tying a thread to it will fulfill their wishes. However, the real question is, how can a tree survive for such a long time without being connected to the ground? Even today, there is ongoing debate among people about how this could be possible. What's your opinion on this? Do share in the comments. Water tree. There is a tree in the world which, when cut, releases water, an event so strange that even science has no clear explanation for it. In Montenegro, there is a peculiar tree that continuously releases water. What's even more mysterious is that this tree stops releasing water as soon as winter begins and starts again when summer arrives. Watching this phenomenon leaves everyone stunned. Recently, a similar tree was found in India, in the Papikonda forest of Andhra Pradesh. When this tree was cut, water began to gush out rapidly. The water coming from it tastes slightly sour. Locals say that this tree stores water in its trunk, and when needed, people living nearby use it to quench their thirst. This tree is also known as the Indian laurel tree, and it stands about 30 feet tall. Cannonball tree. This is no ordinary tree. It's one of Earth's strangest secrets. Known as the cannonball tree, Corypida guianensis, it gets its name because when its heavy fruits fall, they hit the ground with a blast like an explosion, a sound that can be heard from nearly 100 meters away. The tree is native to South America, but also grows in Sri Lanka and India. Its fruits are round, very hard, and weigh between 3 to 6 kilograms. But the tree has a surprising contrast. While the fruit stinks, its flowers are among the most fragrant and beautiful in the world. These blossoms, growing directly from the trunk and thick branches, shine in red, pink, and yellow. Their sweet fragrance can travel far, making the cannonball tree both stunning and startling. Kerosene plant. The kerosene plant, known to botanists as Dictamnus albus, has an unusual reputation. In hot summer weather, it releases a volatile oil that can be set alight without harming the plant itself. Stand near it on a still, warm day, and you may catch a faint lemon-like fragrance drifting from its leaves and flowers. These aromatic oils, invisible in the air, are flammable enough that with a lit match held close, they ignite in a brief blue flame before vanishing. Native to parts of Europe and Asia, the plant blooms with striking pink or white star-shaped flowers streaked with darker veins. Historical accounts mention its curious property as far back as the 18th century, when naturalists demonstrated its burning trick to startled audiences. In gardens, it's admired for its beauty, but gardeners who know its secret treat it with caution. While science explains the effect through the presence of essential oils like isoprene, witnessing a living plant briefly burst into fire still feels like a scene stolen from science fiction. If you liked this video so far, leave a like, and you can also check out 10 deadly plants that eat animals on our channel 4 Evergreen. Hairy tree spider tree. Have you ever seen a tree that looks as if it's covered in animal fur? In certain parts of Mexico, such trees exist, but the fur isn't hair at all. It's thousands of harvestman spiders, also called daddy longlegs, huddled tightly together on the bark. The clusters are so dense that the tree's surface is completely hidden, giving it a soft, fuzzy appearance from a distance. These spiders gather during hot days to escape the sun, conserve moisture, and protect themselves from predators. If disturbed, the entire mass shifts at once, creating a rippling movement across the trunk that's both mesmerizing and unsettling. Locals are used to the sight, but visitors often freeze in disbelief when they realize the tree's fur is alive. Videos of these living, moving tree surfaces have gone viral, leaving viewers fascinated and a little creeped out by the idea of standing under such a strange natural phenomenon. Shampoo ginger. In the humid tropics of Hawaii and Southeast Asia grows a plant that hides a fragrant secret inside its bright red cones. Known as Zingiber zerumbet, or shampoo ginger, it sends up leafy green stems, but the real magic is at the base. Pine cone-like bracts that start green and gradually turn a glossy crimson. Gently squeeze one, and a sweet-smelling, milky liquid seeps out. Locals have used this natural extract for generations as a shampoo, skin conditioner, and even a mild antiseptic. The plant blooms in late summer and its tiny yellow flowers peek out from between the scales of the cone. Visitors are often surprised to find the cones can last for weeks after being cut, still producing liquid as if alive. In Hawaiian tradition, it's also used in leis for its scent and symbolism of cleansing. There's something strangely satisfying and almost otherworldly about pressing a flower and having it give you a ready-made bath in your hands. The squirting cucumber. In the warm Mediterranean countryside grows a small, unassuming plant with one of nature's strangest defense systems. Known as Ecbalium elaterium, or the squirting cucumber, it produces oval green fruits covered in fine bristles. When ripe, these fruits are under so much internal pressure that the slightest touch, or even a passing breeze, can trigger them to detach from the stem and launch their seeds in a jet of liquid. This burst can send seeds flying over 20 feet, coating anything in their path with a sticky, bitter-tasting slime. The plant's name comes from the Greek word ekbalein, meaning to throw out, a perfect description of its explosive method of reproduction. While fascinating to watch, every part of the plant is toxic, and its juice can cause skin irritation. Farmers in its native regions have long avoided handling it barehanded, yet it remains a curious sight for botanists and travelers. A plant that turns seed spreading into something that feels more like a science fiction weapon. Whistling thorn tree. There are many beautiful trees in the world, but few are as unusual as the whistling thorn tree. Found in the African savannas, especially in Kenya and Tanzania, this tree has a special secret. Its scientific name is Vaccalia drepanolobium, and it produces a whistling sound whenever the wind blows. The sound comes from hollow, round swellings that grow beside its sharp thorns. When strong winds pass through these hollows, they create a clear whistle, making it seem as though the savanna itself is singing. These swellings also serve as homes for ants. The ants act like guards, rushing out to attack giraffes or elephants that try to eat the tree. In return, the tree provides sweet nectar through small glands near the thorns. The whistling thorn also produces clusters of white and yellow flowers that look stunning from afar, but its real beauty lies in the haunting song of the wind. Laughing tree. This is a tree that, believe it or not, is ticklish, just like humans. It might sound unbelievable, but it's true. The moment you touch this tree and rub your fingers against its trunk, all of its branches begin to shake, as if it's reacting to being tickled. That's why people call it the laughing tree. Scientists are still studying why this happens, but so far, the theory is that certain chemicals released from human fingers react with a tree's surface, causing a chemical imbalance that makes it tremble. This unusual reaction has turned the tree into a curious attraction, drawing tourists who come specifically to tickle it. It's almost as if nature decided to give trees a playful side, one that responds to touch with a gentle, mysterious shiver, leaving visitors both amazed and amused. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and don't forget to check out 25 beautiful flowering plants anyone can grow at home on Forever Green. Jaboticaba tree. The jaboticaba is a tree unlike any other because its fruits don't grow on the branches but directly on the trunk, from the roots up to the thickest parts of the stem. Clusters of dark purple fruits cling tightly to the bark, making the tree look as if it has been decorated with beads or as if gems are breaking through the surface. Native to Brazil, this tree amazes everyone who sees it for the first time, often leaving people stunned, with some even thinking it's Photoshop or CGI. The fruit is sweet and tangy, with juicy white flesh that tastes like a mix of grape, lychee, and jujube. The tree grows very slowly, taking many years to mature, earning it the name time-traveling tree. Its fruits spoil within hours of being picked, so Brazilians eat them fresh, make juice or jam, or use them as remedies for asthma, diarrhea, and throat problems. Doll's eye plant. In the forests of eastern North America grows a plant that looks like it came straight out of a horror movie. Known as the doll's eye, Actia pachypoda, it produces clusters of white berries with a single black dot at the tip, making them look uncannily like tiny human eyeballs staring from blood-red stems. This eerie appearance isn't just for show. The berries are highly poisonous to humans. Even a small amount can cause severe symptoms and, in some cases, be fatal. Birds, however, can eat them without harm and help spread the seeds. In the 19th century, its strange look made it a curiosity in botanical gardens, where it was displayed as an example of nature's more unsettling designs. Today, hikers often stop in their tracks when they come across it, torn between fascination and discomfort. Standing in a shaded patch of woodland, the doll's eye plant watches silently. A reminder that beauty in nature can also carry danger. Green birdflower. In the arid landscapes of northern Australia blooms a plant that seems to be visited by flocks of tiny green hummingbirds, known as the green birdflower, Crotalaria cunninghamii. Each bloom is shaped like a miniature bird in flight, complete with a curved beak and wing-like petals. From a distance, it's easy to be fooled into thinking the plant is alive with hovering creatures. The flowers grow in clusters along tall, upright stems and are often visited by bees, which are the real pollinators. Indigenous Australians have long valued the plant for its medicinal uses, brewing its parts to treat eye infections. When the flowers fade, they give way to cylindrical seed pods that rattle when dry. The genus name Crotalaria comes from the Greek word for rattle. Seeing a row of these plants in bloom feels like stepping into a dreamscape where flowers borrow the shapes of living things. Flood-web trees in Pakistan. In 2010, massive floods swept through parts of Pakistan, forcing not just people, but countless creatures to seek higher ground. Millions of spiders climbed into trees to escape the rising waters, and once there, they began spinning. Within days, entire trees were wrapped in dense, ghostly webs. From a distance, they looked like giant cotton candy sculptures or eerie alien growths looming over the flooded landscape. These webbed trees became a surreal sight in villages across Sindh province. Locals said they had never seen anything like it before. Branches so tightly bound in silk that even the leaves were hidden. In some areas, the webs trapped clouds of mosquitoes, unintentionally helping to reduce malaria risk after the floods. Photographs of the phenomenon spread worldwide, with people questioning if the images were even real. Standing beneath one of these silk-wrapped giants, you might feel as if you've stepped into a scene from another planet, where trees grow their own ghostly armor. Dragon's blood tree. On the isolated island of Socotra, off the coast of Yemen, grows a tree that looks like it belongs in a fantasy epic. The dragon's blood tree, Dracaena cinnabari, has a dense, umbrella-shaped canopy that shades its own roots from the island's harsh sun. But its most famous trait is hidden inside. Cut the bark, and it bleeds a deep crimson resin. This dragon's blood has been valued for thousands of years. Ancient Romans used it as a dye and medicine. Medieval alchemists prized it in rituals, and it still appears in traditional remedies and varnishes today. The tree's unusual shape is an adaptation to capture scarce moisture from mist and dew, channeling it down to its roots. With Socotra's unique landscape and otherworldly plants, the dragon's blood tree has become a symbol of the island's biodiversity. Viewed from a distance, whole groves look like giant green mushrooms scattered across alien terrain, a living reminder of Earth's strangest botanical wonders. The corpse flower. Deep in the rainforests of Sumatra, a plant grows that draws crowds the moment it blooms. Not for its beauty, but for its stench. The corpse flower, Amorphophallus titanum, produces the largest unbranched inflorescence in the world, towering up to 10 feet. When it opens, it releases a smell so strong and foul it's often compared to rotting flesh. This scent isn't a flaw, it's a lure. Carrion beetles and flesh flies, thinking they found a feast, swarm inside and help pollinate the plant. The bloom is rare and short-lived, lasting just a couple of days, which makes public flowerings major events at botanical gardens. In 2016, a flowering at the New York Botanical Garden attracted thousands of visitors and trended across social media. Between blooms, the plant lies dormant for years, building energy in a massive underground tuber. Seeing one in person is unforgettable. Its sheer size and overwhelming odor feel like something designed to impress and repel in equal measure. Strange banyan tree. This tree is found in the Indian state of Nalgonda, and it stands out because it grows much larger than other banyan trees. The most astonishing feature is that its trunk and roots are covered with strange, intricate sculptures that look highly mysterious. Locals believe these carvings were made a very long time ago, dating back to the time when humans first appeared on Earth. Anyone who sees it up close can't help but wonder how intelligent our ancestors must have been. People living in Nalgonda and nearby areas say that normally any statue or carving made on a tree fades away within days or months. But this tree is different. The sculptures made on it thousands of years ago are still exactly the same today, perfectly preserved despite the passage of time. It's a living monument, blending the strength of nature with the artistry of ancient humans, and it continues to puzzle everyone who visits. Dioscorea elephantipes. In the dry regions of South Africa, hidden among rocky hillsides, grows a plant that could easily be mistaken for a chunk of fossilized turtle shell. Known as Dioscorea elephantips, or the elephant's foot, it forms a massive woody caudex, a swollen base covered in cracked geometric plates. This structure stores water and nutrients, allowing the plant to survive months of drought. Some specimens are estimated to be over 100 years old, growing larger and more intricate with each passing decade. From this armored base, slender green vines emerge during the growing season, climbing nearby supports and bearing small, heart-shaped leaves. The plant is dioecious, meaning individual plants produce either male or female flowers. Once prized by early settlers as a food source, after lengthy preparation to remove toxins, it's now a sought-after collector's plant, often displayed as living art. Its alien-like appearance, slow growth, and remarkable longevity make it one of the most intriguing survivors of Earth's harshest landscapes. That's it for today. Earth may be our home, but some of its plants look like they've crash-landed from another world. Like, subscribe, and share to explore more wonders with us.